Good evening, C4 folks. This is Mitch Hescox. I'm the president of the Evangelical Environmental Network, and I am so happy you're gathering to share what, to me, is the greatest moral challenge of our time and the greatest opportunity for hope. Climate change impacts every single child of God across the face of this planet. We've given the earth a fever, and that fever is causing food shortages, illnesses. Just here in the United States, we're seeing in the Northeast, for example, a 320% increase in Lyme disease because winters are getting shorter, falls are getting shorter, and temperatures are getting warmer. You know, an awful lot of people ask me why I'm involved in climate change, and I do it for two reasons. Because I'm a Christian. And because I'm a Christian, Jesus has given me certain gifts. And my two gifts that I use more than anything else is the gift of being an evangelist and having a heart and passion for caring for the least of these. And creation care to me is the best way to bring both of those into play. I have literally led dozens of people to a relationship with Jesus Christ as I tell them how God cares about this planet. He created it. You know, John's gospel says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and all things were created through him. Colossians chapter 1 says the earth was created by, for, and through Jesus Christ, not for us. We're commanded in Genesis to tend and care for his garden. And obviously Matthew 25 says to care for the least of these. Climate change impacts all of us. And I don't say this as an environmentalist because I'm not. I'm an evangelical Christian. I sort of come at this from an interesting background is that I spent the first 14 years of my working career in the coal industry. I was one of the world's leading experts on grinding poor quality coal. I'm a lifelong Republican, but I understand that we're called as people of God to care for his creation, to care for the least of these. My dad was a coal miner. Both of my grandfathers were coal miners. And as a Republican, as a conservative, one of the things that I've come to understand is that coal is just not the cheapest way to make electricity anymore, if it ever was. Now, I don't want to downplay the success and the benefit that coal and electricity has given our country. Fossil fuels have been a big boom. But until the past 20 or 30 years or so, we've not really known the true cost of it. You know, just for example, it costs about 13 cents a kilowatt more for coal-fired electricity than we pay for it. Basically, we have subsidized the fossil fuel industry on the hearts, lungs, and brains and lives of our kids. And we can't do that anymore. So it's time for the church to stand up. It's time for the church to work together to understand that God created this place to be and offer us an abundant life. Simple, abundant life. Physical life to go along with the spiritual life that God provides. In Isaiah chapter 24 it says human beings destroy the earth because they don't follow God's commandments. Well, it's time to start listening to those commandments. I often joke that in two of the most well-read books of the Bible, and here's the joke part, God gives the basic sustainability things for our world to live by. Crop rotation, animal husbandry, little keys of how to live in a sustainable life with God. But we have flat out ignored it. So it's time to get our act together as Christians. For me, creation care is a matter of life. And that's how I talk about it more than anything else. Because around the world, and even in our own country, children are impacted and dying because of how we pollute the air, the water, the land. We've added so much stuff to it. 9 million people around the world die early deaths because of air pollution. In the United States, 15,000 children are born early because of PM 2.5 soot. And a third of those children die. So I'm offering you some words of advice, some wisdom, some thanks. I am glad that C4 has started. I'm glad to be part of it and to share this brief message with you. Today I spent most of my day on Capitol Hill trying to work on national policies for clean air and also for protecting our public lands. We have a long way to go. We have a lot of disinformation out there. But climate change is real. It's impacting, it's threatening our children. And it's time for Christians, people who want to follow Jesus, to get up and act. I'm a strange kind of evangelical Christian. I believe that the number one mission of Christians is to help Jesus build his kingdom as we wait for him to return. Yes, I can't wait to get to heaven, but that's not the reason I'm a Christian. It's to build God's kingdom. It's to live in the fruits of the Spirit, the joy, the peace, the happiness, the joy, and especially the hope that only Jesus can provide. And I guess that's the final message I'd like to leave you with tonight, is we have a lot of hope. Just think of what it would be if around the world we could offer distributed electricity so that people could run water pumps. They could refrigerate medicines. They could have electricity to run computers and have access to the internet for education. We can change energy poverty into energy prosperity if we get out of 19th century thinking and start thinking about the new world. There's a lot of hopes. There's a lot of other things out there that we can do. And it takes all of us, because it's not just about the government. It's about you and I being faithful followers of Jesus. So I thank you. Have a good meeting tomorrow night. I'm recording this on Tuesday. And for those who will be around on Saturday night, I'll try to join you live for a while. But I look forward to visiting in person with you in a month or two. So God bless, take care, and remember that creation cares, a matter of life. So this is Mitch Hescox, president of the Evangelical Environmental Network, signing off and saying God bless to each and every one of you. Good night.